Hey everyone! Welcome back to Inside the Cage, where we bring you the latest and exciting updates of UFC. First, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Official deal. Confirm on the showdown of Ngannou versus Fury. Guys, finally your wait is over. Recently, UFC plans a very exciting fight, and the hint is here. It is between MMA versus boxing champion. Yes, you understand it right? The fighters are none other than Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury. Yeah, it's happening. After months of intense negotiations, it looks like Francis Ngannou has secured the bag and locked in this worthwhile opportunity. Last May, Ngannou signed a game-changing MMA contract with the PFL. In actuality, it was not only financially rewarding, but also fighter-friendly. High turnovers, for sure. But he didn't stop there. He had his eyes set on an even bigger boxing deal. And now it seems like his dreams are coming true, while Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury is reportedly a done deal. According to reliable sources, the announcement of this epic crossover fight is expected to happen very soon. The anticipation is reaching its peak, and fans around the world can't wait to witness these two phenomenal fighters inside the cage. We've had a lot of offers from the Middle East at the moment to host that fight over the summer, Fury said on the Out of Interest podcast. The purse is private information, but let's say it's 10, 20, 30, effing 50 times the amount UFC fighters make. Remember back in April 2022 when Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury teased us with the possibility of a matchup? Well, it's been quite a journey to get here, but it looks like things are finally falling into place. Getting this fight done wasn't a walk in the park. There were even rumors that the UFC made an offer to trap Fury away from this matchup. But Ngannou had his sights set on something bigger, not just a fight, but respect and control over his career. But he didn't stop there. And now we can say that his boldness has paid off. Jones versus Miocic, heavyweight title bout set for UFC 295. In an explosive showdown, Jon Jones is set to defend his title against Stipe Miocic at UFC 295 in November. You know, this fight has been a long time coming. And it all started back in March, when Jones called out Miocic after his remarkable victory over Cyril Gane. Let's talk about that fight for a moment. His utter dominance in the fight against Gane resulted in a victory in just 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Surely it was a display of skill, power, and sheer determination. But Jones wasn't done yet. After securing the belt from Gane, he immediately set his sights on Stipe Miocic. The self-proclaimed GOAT knew exactly where he wanted to aim his ambition, and that was towards Miocic. "Stipe Miocic, I hope you've been training my guy," said Jones. "You're the greatest heavyweight of all time, and that's what I want. I want you, real bad." According to ESPN, Jon Jones is all set to go head-to-head with Stipe Miocic. After that, UFC President Dana White made the big announcement ahead of the weigh-in for UFC 290, and fans are buzzing with anticipation. Furthermore, Miocic hasn't stepped into the octagon since his defeat against Francis Ngannou back in March 2021 at UFC 260. But now, he is hungry for a comeback, and he's ready to prove himself once again. On the other side, we have Jon Jones, the man with a flawless record and a legacy that speaks for itself. Interestingly, this fight against Miocic might mark the end of an era for Jones. Will Jones make his last fight a memorable one, or will Miocic spoil his plans and make a statement of his own? Only time will tell. "I feel like the Stipe fight will be plenty for me," Jones said in early May. "I don't feel like I have much to prove after beating Stipe Miocic. I've been in the game a long time, and in fighter years, I'm an old guy. I've got some small injuries, and I just really want to be around. I want to be around for my family. I want to be around for my kids. I want to be able to play with my kids and have a good head on my shoulders and joints that work. Guys, if you're enjoying the video, we'd love your support. Just hit that subscribe button to motivate us to bring you more exciting content." Du Plessis excited to face UFC legend Whittaker. You know, Du Plessis has his sights set on establishing himself as a major contender in the middleweight division. Interesting. At the same time, he also has his next challenge with none other than Robert Whittaker. Talk about a true test of his skills and abilities. Du Plessis sees Whittaker as one of the biggest names in the division, and defeating him would be a monumental accomplishment. I think he wants to test his skills, right? Knowing the high stakes of this fight, Du Plessis understands that there's no room for error when facing a formidable opponent like Whittaker. That's why he's laser-focused on his preparation, while he is leaving no stone unturned in his training camp. You see, he's fine-tuning his skills, refining his game plan, and putting in the hard work to be in the best shape of his life. As part of Team CIT MMA, Du Plessis is leaving nothing to chance. He's determined to showcase his talent and prove that he belongs among the elite fighters in the middleweight division. This is his moment to make a statement and leave an indelible mark on the UFC. Furthermore, Dricus Du Plessis is ready to bring his A-game and put on a show for fight fans around the world. Guys, it's going to be a battle for the ages.
Yeah, I think, I always have my opponent, even though they don't dictate how I train or how I plan my fight. Definitely you watch tape and you see little mistakes, you see little things they do good, and you keep that in the back of your mind. But when I prepare for fights, I focus on what I want to do. But when you're fighting a guy like Robert Whittaker, there's one shift that you need to make, and you have to realize that mentally you have to be a steel cage, you have to be unpenetrable, because one crink in the armor of your mentality, you're going to be in big trouble.
Volkanovski, ready to squash Rodriguez in UFC title showdown. In the end, I am taking some intense actions because things are about to heat up at UFC 290 in Las Vegas. Here, Alex Volkanovski is set to face off against interim champion Yair Rodriguez. And let me tell you, it's going to be a battle to remember. During the official weigh-ins, Volkanovski tilted the scales at 144.5 pounds, while Rodriguez came in at 145 pounds. That's why the stage is now set for an epic showdown. Now here's where it gets interesting. Despite the respect they've shown to each other, Volkanovski made it clear that once they step into the cage, all particulars will be thrown out the window. Oops. Indeed, the mutual respect they shared will be left behind, and it's all about proving who the better fighter is. Guys, it is going to be a must-watch show.
It's been very respectful, obviously back and forth. I gave him the respects. I've been saying he's dangerous, but all that shit stops tomorrow. I go out there, I'm going to squash him, I'm going to do my thing. And still, baby, let's go.
Thank you to all my Mexican fans for come here. And we are building the sport together, not only the sport, but we're changing lives together. And I don't have anything to say about my opponent. Everybody knows he's fucking great, and we're gonna do a fucking great job tomorrow night, and just wait for that.
There's some interesting buzz surrounding the lead-up to UFC 290. Volkanovski even embraced the added attention on the cut, suggesting that if his opponent Rodriguez chose to focus on it, it might work against him. Talk about mind games, right? On the other side, Rodriguez has been emphasizing the importance of receiving full credit for a potential victory over Volkanovski. He expressed his concern that any potential injury suffered by his opponent might overshadow his achievement. It's a valid point, as fighters want their wins to be recognized for their skill and performance. It makes me sad because when I get this win, I don't want people saying he was cut or whatever. I want him to be 100%, he said. But I don't think it will be much of a problem for him. It could play to my advantage, of course, but there are a lot of things we go through leading into a fight, and he's going to be ready, he added. So I'm not going to be looking for that specific spot to hit on his face. All right, guys, that's all for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. See you at the next one. Until then, goodbye.